I feel like used to you with them.
Vehicles play a big part in life's milestones.
Hey, Dad.
Hello.
How are you?
Congratulations.
The kids that grow up in them graduate from college, they move away. Our cars connect us to family and the best of friends during the best of times. And while SUVs rule the road these days, minivans are the MacGyver of the automotive world. To prove this, Chrysler gave me a Pacifica Hybrid to use for 10 very busy days in order to tackle vacationing, taxi service, moving, and a wedding. As a guy that drives over 100 different vehicles every year, I feel like it's my public service to tell you nothing beats a minivan for making family life easier. And if you're considering not buying one because of what your friends might think, maybe you need new friends. Also, plug-in hybrids wildly misunderstood. So in this extreme test, I'm going to show you why you might want a minivan or a plug-in hybrid. Kind of a twofer. Quickly, here's how the Pacifica Hybrid works. Charge overnight, and the all-electric range is some 32 miles or around 220 miles a week. I'm in Santa Clara, California for Sean's college graduation and was able to mooch off his fraternity house a few nights, good for around 60 miles of electric range. It got us to the airport to pick up my daughter Maya.
Hello.
Hi, Dad.
Hug.
To celebratory dinners.
Hug a brother.
To the actual ceremony with Martin Sheen as the speaker, which was pretty cool.
Both of my parents were immigrants.
And to my nephew's graduation from business school.
Had a good theme.
You earned it. You earned it.
I'd play cool in the gang celebration, but I don't have the rights to it. On a day-to-day basis, 32 miles of electric range often covers errands, commuting, and chores for many families. In this unfamiliar territory, I can't charge conveniently, and that's okay. Plug-in hybrids like Pacifica don't need to be juiced up, though that kind of defeats the purpose. Our lodging had no place to charge, and I looked everywhere.
Now, if my hotel would have had plug-in, even 110, I could have gotten another 60 miles of range or so, but it doesn't. Hotels need to think about things like this. All right, I'm on vacation. I'm off for a run.
Congratulations, guys.
There were more graduation parties to attend, karaoke to sing, balloons to transport.
Dad, can you help me?
What? No, it's funny just watching you.
Help me. This is so funny.
Family dinners to hit, and Maya to drop at the airport. But no range anxiety because Pacifica defaults to a standard hybrid once the battery is depleted, just like any other plug-in hybrid. Got it? And it's much easier to load people and things into a van than an SUV. Sean's friends needed a ride when their Uber fell through. It was a piece of cake. Everybody okay back there?
We're great. Yep.
Thank you guys again for the ride.
Pacifica holds 7 comfortably. Now, to show you the real advantage of a dual-fuel vehicle, I'm dropping the hard-working Mariko off at the airport.
Love you.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Because she has a real job to get back to. Sean and I are hitting the road.
All right, let's go to Vegas
Let's do it.
in a minivan.
Not only is this a great father-son trip, covering 560 miles in a day proves the convenience.
Hey Siri, I need directions to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Doing this in a maxed-out 325-mile range Tesla Model X using the excellent supercharger network near as I configure would take at least an extra hour or so. Not horrible, but the long-range Tesla costs around $100,000, more than double the price of this loaded Pacifica. And the Tesla network may not be where you want to stop and eat while charging. This place had amazing sandwiches.
It was delicious. It was very garlicky.
But no supercharger. And a pure EV with a more standard 230 miles of range, Tesla or other brand, means more stops and time. I like electric vehicles a lot, but you can't beat a 2-minute fueling, even if it is windy. As for the Pacifica, it's powerful.
All right, the power of the hybrid. Everything's flying in the back.
Quiet and comfortable, even on a section of bad asphalt.
Rough road.
Hard to imagine a better road tripper.
The thing is, this car feels really comfortable doing 80 plus.
Yeah.
One thing though, you can't force Pacifica into pure EV driving. Even with a fully charged battery, accelerate hard and the V6 will fire up. How do you feel it drives?
I like it. It's quicker than I thought it would be. And it's very deliberate in the way that it moves in between lanes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Chrysler gave us 2 proximity keys, one of them enabled with something called KeySense. It would have been the one that I'd given Sean when he was 16, since it places speed and sound system volume limiting on the vehicle. It activated and capped our velocity at 80 miles an hour and the very good Harman Kardon audio at a pretty low level. I tried resetting it on the move, but didn't have much luck. We left that fob in the hotel room going forward. You're the up-and-coming generation. Minivan or SUV or station wagon?
Well, I think I would have to go station wagon. I grew up driving a station wagon, so I think my loyalty is there. You know, as much as I hate to admit it, I think I still care a little bit too much about my own image to drive a minivan.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it.
We were not traveling slow, and yet on some long stretches managed some decent fuel economy. A reminder, this is a large, roomy 7-passenger vehicle. In the city, with daily charging, it could go weeks without gassing up. When you have an electrified vehicle, it's hard to pass by these without thinking, it would be nice to top off the battery. But we don't have to.
This is a wild place.
Sean has never been to Vegas, the city of sensory overload. We spend a few days taking in all the city has to offer, night and day. Our hotel had dedicated charging stations, but we didn't realize that the first night, mooching off the many outlets in the parking garage. Overnight, it gave us enough juice to get most of the way to where a whole lot of it is made. Perhaps you recognize this from the original Transformers movie, but no electricity for us.
Really? We're at Hoover Dam and they don't have electric car chargers? Come on.
As much as I'm complaining about that, it's a great place to visit. If you take the guided tour that goes deep into the structure, something I highly recommend, ask for Preston. He's a damn fine damn guide. Another night of charging means the battery got us nearly all the way to Red Rocks National Conservation Area for some hiking. Really, there's a lot more to do in Las Vegas than just gambling and shows, as fun as that might be. I'd suggest trying it in spring or fall, though. At 105 degrees, it's wise to bring a lot of water and sunscreen. My practical wife would have questioned heading up this road. But she's not here, and we're 2 guys. Really, no SUV necessary. The Pacifica handled this just fine. Dang, she would have loved exploring this area.
I know, Mariko would love to be here. We miss you.
I miss you. Love you, Mom.
Time to head back to California. Part of what makes long-distance travel in this rig easy is the semi-autonomous tech. There's automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection and a very good adaptive cruise that works to a full stop. The lane keeping is on the average side. It drifts from side to side more than we'd like. There are screens on the seat backs. Passengers can watch videos, plug in gaming consoles, or play the built-in apps. Some are educational. Pretty slick. The next test, moving Sean out of his house. This is where vans shine and SUVs lose ground on their middle name of utility. The box is a very efficient storage space, and Pacifica easily swallows up 4 years of college living without any real strategy. We just throw it all in. The hybrid Pacifica has a disadvantage over the gas-only version. The middle row seats don't fold into the floor. Those cavities are where the batteries are tucked into. The chairs are removable, but that means planning ahead. And we're not coming back. And so it's time to say goodbye. Sean will be driving our old Volvo up to Seattle and then heads off to a summer in Slovenia working for a record label. Yes, Slovenia. Yes, a record label. And just when you think, wow, this vacation must be over, there's more.
Welcome back to California.
The lovely and charming has flown back down with her good friend Karen. We have a wedding to attend. First, we drop Sean's stuff off at Mariko's aunt's house, since he has a job in the Bay Area when he returns this fall. That college thing paid off. After a quick visit,
I don't have any of these.
We're on our way to California's wine country.
This thing actually handles really well, especially for a big vehicle.
What does Sean think of it?
Sean thought the same thing.
That guy was raving about it, actually.
Yeah, yes. The parking lot attendant.
Yes, when we initially picked up the van, the lot's valet attendant gushed about it.
So wait, you were driving that minivan and what?
I was valeting the minivan, moving around the lot, and I didn't realize how fast I was going. Those things are ridiculously fast. Ridiculously fast.
So you'd want a minivan?
I would want that one just for the pleasure of driving.
And yes, the Pacifica is pretty quick, but not Tesla quick. Our drive to Napa should have gone down as easy as Pinot Grigio.
That sign said NASCAR weekend.
But does not. There's a race at Sonoma Raceway, and it's going to make us at least an hour late for the wedding welcome dinner. Minivans to the rescue.
Bad traffic? Late for a party? Doesn't matter in a van. You can change in the back. Kids, don't try this at home.
This would be a lot harder to do in an SUV. Kind of an unconventional test, but hey, desperate times, desperate measures.
And she's back. Put your seatbelt on.
Yes.
Set a good example for the kids.
I guess I'm a little more ready.
You look great. You're very pretty. I'm a lucky guy. I am.
This allowed us to skip the check-in to our Airbnb and make the party on time. Minivans for the win. I charged up at the house where we were staying for another 60 miles of electric range, and we pressed Pacifica into shuttle service for the wedding, which was helpful since parking was tight.
Everybody got everything? Kids?
The crew here is past the point of needing a family vehicle like this, but to a person, everyone was impressed on how useful this was, and many thought Pacifica was a very handsome machine. It's the supermodel of vans. Kind of an oxymoron.
All right, guys, have fun at the wedding.
Bye, Tom. Thanks for the ride.
I'll park.
And so my vacation and this extreme test comes to an end.
This is probably the last time you'll ever see me in a tie and a suit.
The wedding was beautiful, the food and wine terrific, it's the Napa Valley after all. In the end, the Pacifica Hybrid hauled people, moved furniture, traveled comfortably, and even became a dressing room. It's a very impressive and efficient vehicle.
So in case you're wondering, I'm getting about 28 miles per gallon on gasoline alone, not factoring in the electric side.
In total, we drove it around 1,800 miles, gassed it up 4 times, and charged enough to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 240 miles of all-electric driving. In familiar territory, families could charge this vehicle nightly and seldom ever stop for gas, just like any plug-in hybrid. Frankly, it's hard to find fault with this vehicle, and we all had a lot of time to do that. Turned off by vans? There's the argument that crossovers have become the new mom-mobile. Looking to move a family efficiently and conveniently? There's no better choice, unless you really feel the need for an SUV. Full disclosure, Chrysler not only gave me this van to abuse for 10 days, they gave me Visa cards to pay for the gas and incidentals like, well, this were guys, and of course we rated the AM/PM for road food. I feel like it's particularly important that you know this since, try as I might, I had a hard time finding any serious issues with the Pacifica. Check the World Wide Web for other reviews if you think I might be favorable. I'm pretty sure the automotive press agrees that this vehicle and the Kia Telluride are the ones to beat these days. Some interesting things that happened on this trip. When we first landed at the San Jose airport, it turned out our flight was the first plane ever to use the brand new Terminal B.
Wait, what, were the first ones?
First one's in.
Wow.
To Terminal B-ish.
A little bit of history there. The Tesla factory is in Fremont, California, and after seeing so many transports, I started shooting some of them go by. It seemed like they were the only cars being trucked. FYI, to balance this review, I plan on doing a Tesla road trip in the fall to see how easy it is to get from Seattle to Silicon Valley. Sean starts a job down there after Slovenia, and we need to move him back. The trip is a twofer. If you go to the Hoover Dam, and I highly suggest you do, head to this sculpture. Apparently, it's good luck to rub the toes. Some dam trivia. Our guide Preston told us the first worker and the last worker to die while building it were father and son. And no, there are no bodies in the concrete.
A travel tip for you, California's wine country can be really expensive. Thank goodness my wife and friends are very frugal. They rented a house on Airbnb and we've packed 13 people in it. But really, it's pretty big and we're all fairly comfortable. It's a super nice house and it's cheaper than a hotel. And with money you save, you can get extra options on your car.
Finally, to keep things easier for my family, a few of these shots were of other velvet red pearl Pacificas that we spotted, and there were a lot of them. I'm sure this guy was wondering what the hell I was doing with my iPhone in the back of the van. If you're watching, now you know.
Hope you learned something from this video, if only where to go on vacation. But seriously, I'm a big fan of electrification, whether it's a plug-in hybrid or a full EV. You're gonna have to make that choice all by yourself, depending on your lifestyle. And before I go, a special thanks to my family. They put up with me shooting this video. It takes time. It's kind of a hassle for them. So thanks, family. You're the best one a guy could ever have. That's Driven, all over California and Nevada. I'm Tom Voelk.
Okay, hit the button. No! Oh no.